Hello, viewers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everywhere you are. This is Osomafo TVGH, the station where you can learn to understand, the station that decodes every coded names and every coded history. This is a place where you can learn to know the original historical facts about the nation of Israel and the creation of this world. This is Osomafo sitting down here. Simply means messenger. In Hebrew, we call it Osomafo, but in English, is messenger. The messenger of the Hebrew God. I am not boasting. I'm only telling the truth. Because there are many who says God has called them. Fine, it is true. But many cannot even identify the God that calls them because they cannot prove. But here is Osomafo Kwesi Benyame, who can easily prove that he was called by the Hebrew God, and therefore he knows what Hebrew means. I am appealing to every person who is watching me and then who is more interested in knowing the truth that has been coded, being decoded. Everybody who wants to know the truth about this world and the creation story that the Bible used to tell us. I know many people have become desperate about knowing this truth. And many people have become frustrated, not even thinking of believing that there was a creation. There has been so many theories going around on the internet. But you see, we need to embrace the truth. We need to assess every statement that comes before we follow it. Many people are saying a lot of things. Even some are saying human beings were created at a laboratory. But up to now, scientists and the researchers have never been able to identify the lab that human beings were formed. To the extent that some of them are saying, oh, there was an alien, there was some aliens who came here called Anunnaki, who were digging for gold on this our planet. And because the digging of gold was a hard job, they created human beings to do the tedious job for them. Forgetting that the animals and plants were here before human beings were created. So if you say they genetically modified human beings to do that job of mining for the Anunnakis, what about the animals? What was the purpose for them to create a lion? Were the lions also going to mine for them? What was the purpose for them to create an elephant? For the elephant to come and pull down the trees that they have created? What? You see, we have to be wise and intelligent. Not just listening to any story that sounds sweet in our ears. Anything that somebody says, you have to assess it. That is why in most cases, people who use this phrase, that common sense, I see them as senseless people. Of course. Yes, it's not an insult. It's a truth that I'm saying, because once you have at the back of your mind that sense is common, it means you yourself, you don't have it. Because if you really have sense, you will know that sense is the most essential commodity on this planet. That is why many people have been taken for granted. Oh yes, that is why many people have been taken for granted. That is why somebody will come and say, oh, I am a man of God. Then the person will raise his hand. Oh, God says he wants 20 people who can offer him $5,000 in Ghana. Not in the US even. Ghana here where we spend CDs. He is calling you and telling you that God says he wants 20 people that can bring him 5,000 good dollars. And people believe this and they follow up. When was dollar invented? Even when was paper invented? And who invented paper? Is it God who created everything under this ground? Gold, diamond, manganese, everything that can give more than the paper. So why do you still believe this? You see, so if you use a phrase that sense is common, it means you yourself, you don't have sense. Of course. Because if you really have sense, you will know that sense is the most essential commodity on this planet. That many people don't have it. Because if you have sense, if you see that when your fellow human being is deceiving you, telling you that God says he wants $5,000, he wants you to sow a seed of $5,000. Go and plant the seed of $5,000 in the soil and let rain fall. And in 6 months' time, it will germinate a tree that will bear dollars fruit for you. Because he says sow a seed. A seed is not a paper. A seed is not a metal. You see, we have to be wise. They are fraudsters. They don't even know what is God. That is why in my last episode, I deliberately portrayed what exactly, when we talk about God, what exactly do we mean? You see, so that people will learn out of it and know that none of their pastors, none of their bishops, and the archbishops even know what is God. They can't know what is God, and so they don't even understand. The God that you say you are looking for, people say God lives in you. Huh. Of course, they may be right, and I can say they are half right. The energy that is God lives in you, but it's not God as at now, in the sense that it has fallen from the grace. The energy that is almost to God has fallen from that grace of God to the grace of human, a creature. And therefore, you can say so that the God lives in you. How did the God came to live in a body? This is one thing we have to understand. And if we say God lives in human being, of course, God nature lives in all animals, not only human beings. The nature that we call God, the energy that we call God, lives in all of us, creatures. That is why we are able to act, move, shout, make noise. Yes, that is the God that lives in us. But why has God come to live in a body? Because in reality, the God that we people say they serve, that God don't have bodies like we have the bodies. You see, that God is an energy, and I would say is a spirit. The other day, I was trying to teach people to understand that when we talk about a creature, in most cases people call it soul. Then when you ask them, what is the meaning of a soul? Before you know, the soul has become a spirit again. You see, the soul has become a spirit. If they want to define the soul, later on you will find out that they will land in a spirit. But the truth is that there is difference between a body and there is difference between a soul and a spirit. Every creature is made of three things. That is the body, the soul, and the energy that is spirit. So you can't have two spirits in one body. You can't have two spirits in one body. There is only one spirit. That is the energy that dwells in every creature. But that creature also have a soul, which is not a spirit. And he has a body, which is not a spirit. So the solid portion of that creature is what is defined as soul, not a spirit again. And this soul, which is the solid portion, is covered with a flesh, that is the body. So the energy that drives the soul and the body is what is called the spirit. So you can't say soul is still a spirit. No, it's not true. Thank you. We are learning. We are still learning. I know if I should have opened phone lines, I will have many people who ask questions, and that segment will come later on. It's just that I need some technicians who will come and help me for that purpose, so that next time I will do a live coverage, then open phones for people to ask every questions that they want to ask. Thank you very much. Thank you.